The hell is this guy? What's he want? Where's he come from? After every soldier I have with him and he kicks their ass. Outman. Outgunned. And he walks away clean. With my money. Now what are y'all gonna do about that?
Turn us loose, Tuna.
Let us do what we do.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of Rip and the Silverback, episode 42, if I am not mistaken. I want to thank all of y'all for hanging out with us. I know we got started just a few minutes late, but yet still, here we go. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of cool things happening, a lot of maybe uncool things, depending on how you feel about certain stuff are happening as well. But of course, I'm joined by my co-host, the Silverback himself, Mr. Asman. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Thank you very much indeed. Look at this that just arrived in the post today.
Woo!
Fan toy scrapper. Devastator is going to be fucking huge.
Let's go.
It's going to be like toys. They're fun.
I love it. Let's go. So, a lot of craziness going on that we'll get to. I want to say shout out to all of y'all out there that has been supporting the Horsemen. I guess I can show it on screen really quick before we get into some of the topics, but we just hit 10.5 thousand total books sold. So 10,500. We just hit that next big milestone. 11. I know, right? I mean, we got to stop this failure thing. Appreciate y'all for that support. I will be
no campaign. No 625,000. God,
yeah, close it in on. Yeah,
you're just gonna stop failing.
I know, man. I got to get it together. But we have everything ready to rock. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I need to get the print numbers out to you guys. We'll get a post prepared for that because we obviously we know those, but we haven't got those out yet. I just remembered. Ice on One Signature Series, we'll be closing that down in a week, by the way. So be on the lookout for that. I'll do some cool streams with that or as it pertains to that. But the Horseman is obviously the talk of town right now. Appreciate all that support there. Keep grabbing those items there. We'll be doing some cool, we still have some cool little promotional stuff that we'll be doing as well. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, a lot has been happening sort of in media. And I wanted to really open up the show with this because we talked about it right before the show started. As if you want to let the people know, new DLC came out for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. How's that doing?
Could be better.
Okay.
I mean, the game when it came out didn't have a great peak. 13,500 players at peak.
Okay.
Lost a lot of its audience. New DLC comes out. Who is it? And 240 people turned up to play it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's tough there. No. And that's quite the way that I wanted to open this show up because when I read this thing to you, because I don't know if you know about this, as maybe you do, but I'm going to share my screen here. And of course, this is the new character that is part of this DLC.
Yeah. This is the new DLC character, yeah.
Yes.
It's Kim Belair.
Well,
it's Kim Belair from Sweet Baby Inc. self-inserting like she does in every fucking game that Sweet Baby Inc. work on. Yes.
And once I read some of the things that will make a lot more sense to the audience out there. So Suicide Squad, for people that don't know, let's get everybody caught up, okay? Because there's a lot of lore here. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. It was an interesting approach to a video game because it's set in the Arkham universe, but it plays different for sure. It and not necessarily against that, but it was just a weird kind of approach where it's almost a looter shooter essentially is what it ends up turning sort of into with various Suicide Squad characters. Okay, now in it they kill Batman. That was actually a leak that happened before it went live. It was a rumor, and then we found out that it wasn't such a rumor. It was confirmed.
Well, they
literally.
executed Batman.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
mind.
it's not just
killed
they killed
Yeah.
him; they just quite literally execute that Batman. Now things got really fun when you found out who was a part of it, and this is where the Sweet Baby Inc. thing all stemmed from this project. Okay, found out more about them. There was a lot of eyes on Sweet Baby Inc. and consulting groups like Sweet Baby Inc. Because my dogs aren't happy
Yeah.
about Sweet Baby Inc. either.
You said the words, and that was it. It set them off, man.
Exactly.
Baby.
Words, and that kind of made them angry. But seriously, Sweet Baby Inc. consulting group, basically a bunch of leftists obsessed with. You can go watch previous episodes of this show here. We really dive into it, and we don't strawman their positions by any means. We were reading directly from their website. We got all the data there for you. They hyper focus on diversity, inclusion, representation, all the usual buzz terms, the DIE. And their consulting group working for various games and with various games. You had
Don't give your customers what they want.
yeah.
That literally said that at a developers conference. If
Yes.
you give your customers what they want, then they're going to expect the stuff that you give them. You need to put me into video games. That's what you need
Yes.
to do.
And dogs.
I'm sorry.
Also,
I know that they
You
are
set
not
them off every time. Every time you
know.
start talking about Sweet Baby, you set these guys off. No, I had a CPM machine that I was using for recovery, and they're coming to pick it up. Is what his wife get it to him. So seriously, so Sweet Baby Inc. consulting group, bunch of leftists, got uncovered. They had worked on Suicide Squad. There had been a lot of conversation happening with regards to their involvement in it, but they did seem to have a lot to do with the narrative of the actual, which I'd argue that a lot of people had obviously a problem with that, but they had a lot to do, at least in some capacity, to do with the narratives of Suicide Squad kills, the Justice League. So you can take that for whatever way that you may. Okay, so you had some interesting designs for some of the characters that people are used to seeing. Joker, Bizarre. You had Miss Freeze there, or little interesting choice to go with there. More tokenization, for sure. But it just really was flat. And this is not my opinion that I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the general audience reception. Okay. It had a lot working against it. Okay. Now, here we have season 3, so we have another DLC, and it's going to be centered around this character here. And this character's name is Zoe Lawton, aka Lawless, is the name of the character. Okay. Now, guys, I'm going to read
So
you.
if it's Lawton, then it's Deadshot's daughter or something.
Yeah, because I was
even though Deadshot's white.
Well, no, you got to understand. As I was told, I was insured, right? When I used to do all the videos on this, on the subject here, that when Deadshot and you got Will Smith or whatever, and you get those tokenizations that happen in live action, right? That's just because that was the best person for the job, and race wasn't integral to the character, right? So, explain to me why the fuck would you change something that's basically?
So why did they make him black in the animated?
Yeah, that's my question.
Because that's a choice. That's not a best actor for the job. That's that's an actual choice.
It's almost like they were just making shit up, right?
Yeah. They'd never do that. They'd never do that.
They'd never do that. But Lawless here has an interesting background. If you go, I'm not.
I bet she doesn't. I bet she doesn't.
Suicide Squad Game.com. So this is coming directly from their website. Again, not strawmanning any positions. Oh.
Is she gay?
Might as well be. Let's
is
say
she
that.
trans?
Might as well be. So let's read up on because they do a lore dump here around this character. Okay? So we're gonna read through it together as and God bless everybody's soul here as we go through this.
Oh, may the Lord have mercy on us.
One of Gotham's newest and most ethical thieves.
Commie. Okay, they're a commie. That's a weird way to say commie right there.
Ethical thieves.
Gotham's new commie piece of shit. Yeah, got it.
Lawless is determined to use the skills of a master criminal that her father taught her. Read this. To redistribute the wealth.
Commie
in her hometown.
Commie scum. I wonder if Sweet Baby Inc. are going to redistribute all the wealth they've made from scamming companies, grifting on companies. Is Kim, are you redistributing your wealth? I'm gonna press X to doubt.
So those are the first just couple of sentences there.
Yeah, comrade fuckwit.
Yes,
it's the newest character. Yeah, gotcha.
It is essentially a communist. Is what I mean. All the terms are there. Ethical thieves, which is oxymoronic, by the way.
We want your shit because we're lazy.
Yeah, essentially. And they are there to redistribute the wealth. Okay.
Because they're too bone idle to work.
Basically, right?
I mean, that's what communism's a word which is thrown around so much these days. People aren't communists. They're just lazy. They're just lazy and they want handouts and they don't want to fucking work for a living. They want to sit on their asses. They want to just get free fucking cash from people who are actually going out there and doing a fucking job. And then they go, socialism.
Yeah. I mean, their little godfather, at least of Marxism, the Marxian form of communism in Karl Marx was a fucking
communism.
It's the same shit. I mean, historically speaking, they were used interchangeably anyway. If we want to get down to the nitty gritty historically. But communism nonetheless. Now, this is one of the most, I'd argue the most, if you're talking governments, dangerous form. I mean, I'm not saying that just talking out of my ass. I'm just looking at the amount of dead bodies that seem to appear anytime this has been like the highlighted and emphasized political ideology or economic philosophy, whether it be with Mao and Pol Pot and North Korea and
Lenin.
Lenin going into Stalin. It seems that there's always, and even in spots of Africa, there seems to always be a lot of dead bodies that seem to follow communism historically. Yet and still, there are lots of which they use. I believe in some cases they maybe talk around it, talk about privileged people. Seem to be what they advocate oftentimes, not seeming to know how dangerous this actually is. But here it does say that don't worry. For you guys that are communists, you have your hero here. Because you can read this here. While the privileged class in the city, again, guys, this is not like a breakdown by somebody else. This is coming directly from Suicide Squad, okay? While the privileged class in the city.
Yeah. People that work for a living.
Yeah, basically, yeah. People were growing richer than ever. Well, imagine that working more means you get more money. Funny how that works. The common people were suffering, unable to afford to live in the city that was their home. Once those eyes were open to this injustice, she knew that she had found her calling, using her talents as a thief.
Stealing other people's money. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. For some aggressive redistribution in Gotham. That's what it says, ass. I'm just saying. Some aggressive redistribution in Gotham. That's what it says.
Yeah, I bet it does. I fucking bet it does say that. Holy shit. This is
So there you have it. In order to try to get this train back on the track, even a revolutionary, right? It's focused on revolutionary. Like they use all the terms here, buzz terms that you would typically find of your usual sort of leftist, authoritarian leftist. So you can play as Zoe. I almost said Zoe Quinn. What's the difference? To be fair, Zoe Lawson. It's available. It's became available yesterday.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in playing as a communist in this sort of Elseworlds version of Gotham, you have your gal. Now, here's my thing. Okay, on a more serious note, with this character, the design and all that. Damn that.
What? Sorry, hold on. Whoa. What design? It's literally Black Girl Magic.
This looks like a character that would appear in
Fortnite or some shit.
Well, no. What's the game that also Concord?
Oh, Concord. Yeah.
Could absolutely see that in Concord. It is just as unappealing, but never mind that. They could go ahead. Ask. Go ahead.
No, this is a master thief.
Yes.
Do you want to look at that? Do you want to look at their character? Just scroll that thing down. That is a master thief. That is what a master thief wears. Bright colors that clearly show off their face as well.
Yeah. Master thief and a revolutionary.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that's revolutionary is a fucking shampoo.
Yeah, I could use that. That'll at least have that going. Would love to know what we're using there for sure. Very moisturized.
Black Girl Magic.
Yeah. So they do go on about some of like the skins and other stuff that you're going to be able to do in this game. But this is my point here. Okay. So it is no secret that this game was an absolute failure on all ends. Okay. I don't care if you love the game. That's not really necessarily important. Okay. The results are the results. Okay. A lot of people not into this. It did seem to be a slap in the face, especially when you consider what that meant as far as a voice actor for Batman. It did seem to be just a absolute slap in the face to everybody that was a fan, at least, of maybe Batman in general, but especially the Arkham games. Okay. So you come out with these, I guess the only path forward, okay, if you are Warner or Suicide Squad, is to try to turn this thing around. Or, I guess technically they could have pulled a Concord and just pulled the fucking plug and said, we're out. But they didn't do that, okay? Definitely, I'm pretty sure there was probably some obligation as well to DC to see this through anyway.
Yeah.
Considering that they're dealing with that property. So
and maybe even with the sales, maybe there was season pass sales.
That's another point. Yes, exactly. Yeah. There was some obligation there either way. So it wasn't as simple as what they did with like a Concord. So they had to see it through. But do you get a sense that they're like actually trying to turn this thing around when you see something like this is what they're leading with? Okay, season 3 or whatever the fuck. And here we go with okay, yes, the character may be a little bit unappealing, but you especially went with a fucking communist.
And I don't think self-awareness is there's either zero self-awareness but I don't believe that. I just don't think they care. I mean, Sweet Baby Inc., they don't like games, they don't like gamers. Their company solely exists to grift off this far left idiocy that's going around the Western gaming industry. So they're savvy as regards to that. They go in there, they get government assist. No, not government. Well, they can, potentially even some government assist. But they also get Chinese coin. They probably get BlackRock coin. So they go in. They push the ideology. They get paid. Kim Belair is going to retire a very rich woman, just like the scam artist with Black Lives Matter. It's going to be one of those situations. As far as they're concerned, they're doing the stunning and brave, which is, the kind of, this is what gamers need as opposed to want mentality.
Yeah.
So no, I expect I imagine there'll probably be like one more. Maybe there's meant to be like a season pass a quarter. But I expect the final one to be just as stunning and brave. We've had Ms. Freeze, they them freeze. Not even a fucking real character. It's just a joke. This character here, this is just Kim Belair self-insert. Joker, nearly gamer word there. Gay joke, gay Joker. These aren't here to make gamers happy. They're not here to make. They're all very specifically ideologically minded, just like the game was. The game was there to pull down your heroes, to tear them apart, every single one of them, to literally piss all over them. Mm-hmm. This is a game made off nothing but malice and spite and ignorance, and Rocksteady can go fucking shove it up their ass. Good luck. I don't think making another Batman game will help this company in the slightest.
Well, I mean, it potentially, but I mean, it's all. I guess that's always a reoccurring theme with the things that we talk about. It's like, I mean, technically they could, but I mean, there's so much that has to go right.
But what's he gonna be like? What type of Batman is it gonna be?
That's what I'm saying. It's so even though the recipe's there, will they follow it? And I don't think anybody believes that they're going to follow it.
Who in their right mind would have made this game? Who in their right mind?
Yeah, it was a stupid idea from jump. The general concept was probably a little foolish to at least have it exist in this universe. Probably shouldn't have went with a Suicide Squad as if you wanted to do kind of this offshoot, right? Within this universe, maybe don't run with them. But I know they tried to catch in on this whole the newer Harley Quinn kind of craze, right? Which seems to have died down just a tad.
There is no Harley Quinn craze.
Not anymore. Man, that's for sure.
When was the last time there was a legitimate Harley Quinn craze?
I mean, you're talking like around when the Suicide Squad movie came out. So they're far removed from that.
That's just because everyone wanted to fuck Margot Robbie.
Well, yeah. Well,
but she just played prostitute Harley.
Well, yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. They at least had I guess you could argue an uptick there, albeit maybe from normies. So they were clearly trying to cash into that, but they were far too late to even get in on that because that kind of came and went. Because there was that era where every shit in existence seemed to during Halloween was dressing
Hot Topic Central,
dressing as Harley, right? So she got a bump, and they wanted to cash in on that, but maybe they're a little late. Maybe if you wanted to play something, I guess, be a little safer, right? And use maybe characters people give a fuck about. And that's not to say that it's going to land either, right? Because we saw what happened with Unfortunately, which was something that I did like in the general concept. It didn't seem to be executed well by any means, albeit by a different studio, and Gotham Knights, right? So there's still no guarantee that, just because you do use characters that people give a shit about, that you're gonna make it, right? It's just a lot needs to go right. But with this game, it almost feels like they purposely set themselves up for failure.
But Gotham Knights also had the same one of these same consultancy firms behind it.
Well, for sure. Well, yeah. It suffers from a similar problem. I'm just saying that. So even if they did use less obscure characters or more likable characters, it doesn't mean that they're guaranteed success. But either way, with this one, this was like a no-brainer. This
By the way, Sweet Baby Inc. also did have something to do with
Gotham Knights.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, that was a bad idea. I mean, look, kudos to, if you will, Sweet Baby Inc. because they made it. For some reason, various companies within the gaming industry thought that this was a consultancy group that they should put in that was going to somehow elevate their brand, their narratives, their storytelling within their games, and they have been nothing more than, I mean, you could argue that, especially now with got the Sweet Baby Ink detected, anything they touch turns to shit. It's just the bottom line. Nobody's going to even give it a time of day.
Oh, CD Projekt Red. Well, I've got a video in the works about them, but they just recently hired a Sweet Baby Inc. Consultant to work on Cyberpunk.
Well, I mean, they to be fair, did a whole fucking video. Let it be pretty known what they were going to be focusing on with DIE.
Yeah, the guy was very nice to stand there and then bend over and grab his ankles with his hands firmly and say, take me now.
Yeah, we watched the entire video here, which is just crazy. Again, it does look like a hostage situation if you just look at the man's eyes during it. It's like he doesn't want to be there, and he knows that this is fucked, but he's going along with it nonetheless. But yeah, Lawless, in short, isn't gonna save this game. I don't think anybody. I can't imagine even them. They are under the impression that that's going to be the case. Now, again, I haven't been obviously keeping up with modern DC, so I also don't know if how they tend to do when there's games, there's movies. Even if there's a character that's unique to that medium, they start doing like comics based on them and shit. So I don't know if there's a Lawless number one that a lot of people are looking forward to buying. Not quite sure, or they appear in some story, but this isn't going to save this company, or it's not the company, more or less. Certainly not going to save the company, but it's not going to save the game. So I look at this and I'm like, bro, you spend an exorbitant amount of money. I don't know how much money. Do we know the budget? Do we remember the budget for?
Do you want to?
Oh shit.
This is Zoe Lawton in DC. She's a little different. There's a little difference in Zoe Lawton.
No, what do you mean? Come on, Ash. This is uncanny. Come on.
It's
uncanny. Come on, Ash. It's the same. It's the same exact.
Just imagine if this was the Suicide Squad version and the other one was the comic version. Imagine that conversation.
Oh boy, that people be raising hell. All of a sudden, race would be integral to the character again. Exactly. But no, he said, Kartak said, someone said in the chat that I think Tom Taylor had
of course.
Well, if that is true, that's not surprising. He is responsible for a lot of gay things. That's a recent. Not sure what happened to that guy, but
he got his. Whatever happened to gay Superman? We're still waiting for that new ongoing series. That's why they cancelled the other one, because they were starting a brand new one, of course.
Yeah, it's not that there was sales issues or anything.
No,
sure no, they would never cancel.
No. When they had that pink-haired twink guy sexually assault him, then a lot of people I think were done. I think they were done with that.
Oh man, that's rough. But yeah, Rocksteady. The rumor is there's been zero confirmation of this, that they are going to be working on a new Batman game. I will say that would be smart. But do you believe that it'd be smart in the sense that probably should have did that earlier? But I mean, the old saying, I guess, is you got to update your resume. And looking at this, Lawless or just Suicide Squad, not just Lawless, but Suicide Squad in general. I mean, do we even trust that they would do that right? Even though, yeah, they had a record, and I'm not sure any of those guys that are responsible for those Arkham games are even there anymore. It's just maybe the studio in name. I believe that some of them started their own studio and they're doing some other stuff as well. But as far as Rocksteady is concerned, even if that happens, do we trust them in today's day and age to return the form?
Why would you trust a company that literally spent hundreds of millions of dollars pissing all over your heroes? Because everybody is complicit in this. Everybody who worked on it is complicit in shitting all over, pissing all over the heroes that you love to push what? Communism?
Yeah.
Fucking the pride flag? We will continue to make villains gay and black until people accept them. It's like, do you fucking hear what you're saying there? You dipshit. The play would have been, if you wanted to evolve the Arkham series, the play would have been make a Justice League game then. And have interchangeable Justice League characters. And
well, that would have made way too much
on
sense.
Board with that.
I think that would have made way too much sense.
Each hero has its own power, so you craft each part of that story to work with that character.
A better version of what Marvel's Avengers should have been, essentially.
Which was another hijack project.
Yeah,
another hijack project. So why would you trust? Why would you trust these people? Why? They're all pieces of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trust them. I don't think it would be smart to trust them at all.
I just won't get my money again. That's it. Well done. Just not getting my money again.
Totally understand it.
I've got the Arkham games. I don't need any more.
Yeah, those aren't going. It's not like those are going anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
So I played them.
Oh, yeah. You want to play? We'll shit all over your beloved characters because we're pushing ideology. Fuck off. Now feel what it experience what it feels like to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Not just that, but to lose your fucking audience. Not just that, to lose utter respect. Congratulations, you are now fully confirmed as Western Gaming Company. And everything that comes along with that.
Just look at this sentence, man. Using her talents as a thief for some aggressive
reason. But Gotham's a shithole, so she's not working. It's not working really, is it? So. It says Batman.
Using her talents as a thief for some aggressive. But yeah, I mean, look, I know these are things that could probably down the pipeline. It's like, yeah, we got to release these regardless. But I think you are really seeing with the DLC kind of the full scope and vision that this company had with between the Mrs. Freeze thing, between the weird looking Joker, as well as this. This was not a game that was made with people that were in the Arkham or people that are in the Batman or people that are in the DC with them in mind. And it was made probably for the people that actually made it. And more so used as just you took this overall game concept and it was just everything else was just.
Do you know who this character was made for? 250 people, Eric.
Well, yeah, the 250 people that are interested in playing it, yeah.
250 people, which I think is probably reflective of the true interest. So there you go. Came out yesterday, peaked at 250. There you go. Nobody gives a fuck.
It's just not. It's no enthusiasm. No enthusiasm. No. I think that's a problem that a lot of companies are facing right now with some of their projects. The difference is just the amount of money. So it's everything's context. I mean, you're talking DC in terms of its brand. You're talking about Rocksteady. So 250 of anything, really, you're not doing that well. And also, you look at how much money that they spent on this project. It was an L. It was just a big L. And look, I don't know what the future holds for just Warner in general. I know we do have.
I don't know what the future holds for the Target in Gotham City.
Well, they better be ready for some aggressive redistribution.
Yeah. What she do?
Else.
Does she throw a bin through the window and then just pile in?
It's funny. Look, so these are the three different play styles. Influencer, because
What?
modern current day.
What?
Yeah,
what
no, that's no joke. Influencer. Well, it's because they talk about some of it here. I mean, this is like what they literally took was like a Gen Z activist, and just because they talk about some of the like, I guess technically she is in some capacity an influencer, but they do go in on I'm trying to look for because I was reading this before the show went live.
Eric, with 250 people interested, nobody's being influenced.
Nobody's being influenced by anything. That is fair. That is fair. But they also, of course, have revolutionary because communism. Revolutionary is a play style, and of course, thief. Which I mean, communism and being thieves, those are interchangeable.
Comrade Lawton, got it.
Comrade Lawton is essentially what this is. There was no way that this was going to hit with really any audience, but I guess the people that they are appealing to is like
250 people.
Yeah, Stan account Twitter. They don't play games, and if they do play games, it's not these types of games. Same problem that Concord dealt with. So, good luck over there. Don't know what the future holds for Rocksteady, but just in case anybody wanted any update, because it had been a little while before since we talked about Suicide Squad. You can now get the DLC, which came out yesterday, and you can play as Zoe Lawton, aka Lawless, aka Communist. And you can prepare for some aggressive redistribution
after she's taken her cut.
Of course.
Because I've got to pay for my gear.
Yeah,
I'm distributing it, so I got to make sure that I have enough. I got to get myself a nice house, so I got a base of operations, and then I got to make sure that my bills are taken care of and food and everything. And then that $5 that's left over, she'll give to obviously the right melanin level person that just so happens to be there on the street at the time.
Yep. Man, it's unfortunate. Unfortunate what's happened to a lot of these gaming companies. We did talk about last week. We did talk about Ubisoft and the supposed recommitment or commitment to not having an agenda.
How did that work out for the stock price?
Didn't go well at all.
No, not very well.
They're not doing very good. They're not doing well at all.
Do you know what their stock price in 2018?
What was that?
100 euros.
Wow.
Do you know what it was in 2021?
What was it?
85 euros. Do you know what it is today? 10 euros. That's a wee bit of a drop, Eric. It's a little decline.
Well, I think it's you look at all the stuff that they've banked on. I mean, there is a rumor, but I don't know how legitimate these rumors are about the sales of Star Wars Outlaws. They're selling only 1 million copies, and I'm not sure about that. There have been reports about Skull and Bones as well. According to insider sources, that they spent I'm gonna tell you a number. Remember, this was supposed to be a quadruple A game, and I believe it, but it's rumors. It's not confirmed. It's an insider. Take this for whatever way that you may. $650 to $850 million.
I mean, Skull and Bones has been in development hell, like hell. And as one thing that we have discovered, when games are in development hell, money's just getting pumped into Concord. She's swept. So it wouldn't surprise me it seems a little bit high, but it wouldn't surprise me if you'd said 400 million plus had been put into it. I'd be like, I bet. And then they decided to put out an early access version for $70. And people went, fuck off. This is shit. And I can tell you how many people are playing that game right now if you want.
Yeah, please. Let's get some updates.
Skull and Bones. Okay. Well, do you want to know what the all-time peak was?
What was that?
2,500. All-time
Quadruple
peak.
A.
And as of a few seconds ago, 367 people are playing it. This is why Ubisoft stock has tanked, because they're pumping money into these games, and not with Skull and Bones, but with Assassin's Creed, they've gone full fucking ideological. They've pissed off a whole fucking country of Japan, a country that, you know, has a little bit of a history with video games and video game culture. And their stock price is now 10 euros. It can't get out of that rut right now. It goes up and it goes straight back down. It can't seem to repair. Good. I think Ubisoft are a dog shit company. I don't think they've made a good game since Far Cry 3 in 2012. Every Assassin's Creed game is the fucking same. Different environments, same shit. That they haven't developed or evolved their play styles on games in the slightest. Skull and Bones was a fucking disaster, and it's been a disaster, like I said, development hell for God knows how long. And now you got Yasuke. They want to go with Yasuke. And the way that did you see the way that they showed off the destructible environments in the new Assassin's Creed?
With him just fucking up people's shit. I did see that.
Just going around a beautiful little Japanese village, ripping everyone's fucking shit up.
Oh man!
I somebody at Ubisoft really fucking hates Japanese people.
Look, it's interesting to see what's going to happen with this delay, right? Because they have to be aware that, okay, this is a dud. And there's been some rumors. I saw that Bounding shared some video where you got people alluding to them like adjusting, using this delay to adjust Yasuke. I just don't see that happening. I think they're committed to that. You're going to get what you're going to get in February, okay? That said, even some of the mainstream guys, CNBC, are acknowledging some of the economic problems with Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft. Says with shares at 10 years low, this comes from CNBC. Assassin's Creed maker Ubisoft faced questions over its future.
Oh well.
Obviously, they delayed the game. They talk about it. The shares, which also cut net bookings guided for its full fiscal year and second quarter, have slumped to decade lows.
I believe it's a 13-year low. The last time it was this low, I think, was around about 2011. I did a little bit of research earlier. It's around about 2011, possibly 2013. I think it's like an 11-year low.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah, unfortunate. Decade lows on the back of dismal investor expectations about the company's AAA games pipeline and financial prospects.
Oh, well.
Last week, activist investor AJ Investments said it was working with other Ubisoft shareholders to push the company to sell itself to private equity firms or to a Chinese gaming giant like Tencent, which already holds a stake in the French game publisher.
So Tencent can then invest money from the Communist Party to pump back into the Western games, destabilizing the whole of the West.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be. Well, it may be a good solution for them, but good solution for gaming, probably not.
No.
I don't quite think so. But everybody's acknowledging it. It does put this thing into perspective. It says Ubisoft also cut its guidance, as we mentioned here. Net bookings fall to around 1.95 billion euros. Ubisoft said it expects net bookings for its fiscal second quarter to come in around 350 million, 370 million euros, down from 500 million euros anticipated previously. So they've revised some numbers and they revised them down as far as their expectations. They said that Star Wars Outlaws, it was met with disappointing sales performance and a mixed reception from gamers. Ubisoft
it wasn't a mixed. It was pretty unanimous that it was shit. It's pretty unanimous.
Ubisoft said that it's learning from the Star Wars Outlaws release, and it pushed it to give more time to polish Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, look, yes, the game has
nothing to do with polish. Nothing to do with polish.
And that's the point that I brought. I mean, even if obviously Star Wars Outlaws, it was reported that it had a lot of technical issues. We've seen a lot of them. People just falling through the damn levels or the environment. Yes, we've seen all that. That said, even if all that was perfect, right? Even if it went exactly how they thought that it was going to go in terms of its technical point, it's still Star Wars Outlaws. And I think that just the overall concept of the game was overall just unappealing to a lot of people. So
it's not just that it didn't play out how it's been sold. Your decisions don't fucking matter. You can't do what you want to do, regardless of whether or not you piss off a specific group, Jabba or the Imperials, whatever. It matters nothing, because when it has to force you into a cutscene, they'll be nice to you because that cutscene forces it to happen. So the decisions and the choices that you make mean nothing. You'd be like, I was having a good talk with Morley about this yesterday. Yeah, it's a huge game design problem. So it says, hey, you could do whatever you want, but you can't, because ultimately your character's got to be lovable rogue. Everyone loves her. She's stunning and brave. She's a fucking white brunette in Star Wars. So what do you expect? And it's narratively dull, disinteresting, doesn't do what it's meant to do.
What a comment here. That's pretty good. I
think they're gonna have to polish him with bleach.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. I guess Sammy Sosa, Michael Jackson, reach out to their guys and see what you can do to make it happen.
That guy needs a very quick case of Vita luck. And I'm talking very uniform all over.
Yeah. So hit those guys up, or their people up. Maybe they can make something happen.
What are you people?
What do you mean, you people?
You people, Eric. Wow. Who would have thunk it? Unbelievable.
Oh man. So yeah, it's delaying it. What does that mean as? Like, are they delaying the inevitable, or could they really be trying to change some shit?
Well, I heard that they were trying to tweak some of the narrative elements of Yasuke to potentially make them more sympathetic. So I think what they're doing is they're trying to do some cutscenes. I think they're trying to redo maybe a couple of cutscenes. But it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if the game is actually just as unpolished and shitty as Star Wars Outlaws. Because Ubisoft got themselves into a trap, and their trap was, we want live service games. And it involves a lot of pumping money in, but it also involves the attempt to generate money in after-sales, season passes, microtransactions, yada, yada. And these games are dull and disinteresting, and they're not getting people attached. So they're not making the monies that they want. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've seen some animations. They don't look great. We've seen some footage, and the environments and stuff look wonderful. But The simple fact of the matter is there is absolutely no fucking logical brain cell, whatever, that would make you want to pick Yasuke as the main hero of this story.
It's just overall retarded fucking.
We have spoken.
Holy shit, dude.
There was that article that said, "Oh, if they made an Assassin's Creed in Africa, people would still complain." We've already had this conversation on the stream before. A tribal Assassin's Creed game.
Zulus, bro. Like it's right there. It's a layup. Exactly. It's a fucking layup, bros. It's a fucking layup. I would love to fucking see it. I've been advocating that we get more games based because Africa has its own set of very, very rich both in lore, in its lore and its mythologies. For sure, we're entertaining some of that stuff in the Riververse, but there's a lot of that, and it's untouched. Instead, they take what already exists. They take fucking Anne Boleyn. They take fucking all these other historical characters, and then they basically race swap them. And it's like, bro, you have an entire massive ass fucking continent with very, very rich history that you could do a lot of cool shit with in all forms of entertainment, with video games, which is what we're talking about in this context, as well as with like if you want to do animations and like live action stuff. Like you could do that, and they refuse to. Instead, we get retarded shit like this, like, oh, Assassin's Creed is finally going to Japan. Why don't we give you guys this black guy as your main protagonist in fucking Japan?
Why? I still don't understand why they haven't made a contemporary Assassin's Creed game. That's what I don't get.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Why don't you just do a contemporary Assassin's Creed game in the concrete jungle? You know, you could that would kind of take your concept of this historical thing, bring it right up into current day, this modern setting. So much more. There's so many things that you can do with this. And look, after Ghost of Tsushima, it was a good decision. It was a good decision to say, hey, let's put Assassin's Creed, let's put it in feudal Japan. That's a good decision. That's not a bad decision. That is a healthy, logical decision to make.
Most definitely.
And then you go, and then let's put the one black guy that is mentioned a couple of times in historical documents as the main protagonist, because we're pushing it, because we're Ubisoft and we're a progressive company. And you just don't read the room. Because your ideology is overriding your fucking logic centers. You don't read the room. It would have been a no-brainer if they had announced Assassin's Creed Shadows and had a Japanese male protagonist and a Japanese female protagonist. Nobody would have said shit about shit. In actual fact, people would have probably been quite hyped for it.
Yeah, definitely. Again, coming off the back of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
You know, we're starting to return to a lot of the more Asian culture stuff. It's hot right now. Yeah, it was a layup. It should have been. But they made this. I guess when you do have a bunch of retarded progressives that are within your company, you get these bad decisions that are being made. And listening to or reading what Yves says, in the light of recent challenges, self-imposed, by the way, we acknowledge the need for greater efficiency while delighting players. And, you know, they talked about this review, which is essentially an internal investigation that is going to be done to improve its execution, whatever that fucking means.
Hey, I can save you a lot of money and tell you right now. You know all these DEI shit that you have all over your fucking company that you know about because you signed off on this shit that you are fully supporting and behind? It's that, Eves. It's you. It's fucking you. It starts with you and it ends with you and your fucking desire to put all this DEI, woman only, fucking all this exclusionary shit, this destructive shit, which acts to nothing but cause bureaucracy and fucking distrust and eggshells within a company environment when probably most of the people at your company just want to make a fucking video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you had to go make it political.
As I mean, look, he could sit up here and say as what was being reported, or he said himself about this no agenda, and we debunked that immediately by using, I don't know, their own fucking website.
Their own website, yeah.
And going through their pretty blatant agendas that they have no problem advocating at all. And look, when you prioritize that, it's like, okay, it's not even just prioritizing that. It's that we're fucking talking about video games, okay? Why is that even a part of the conversation?
How much money is getting wasted? Not just on the department, but the fucking meetings, the fucking shit that they're doing with all this crap. How much money, how much time, how many resources is just being wasted on this fucking nonsense? Got these departments, they're fake departments with fake jobs.
Yep.
Get your fucking development team just excited to make fucking games again. Get rid of this fucking political stuff. This is why I don't care. If Ubisoft fucking fall, I don't give a shit. They haven't done anything good in 13 years nearly, as far as I'm concerned. So if you're not contributing, fuck off. It's like Bethesda. When was the last great game Bethesda put out? Skyrim, 2011, 13 years ago. You know, when was the last great game CD Projekt Red put out? The Witcher 3, 8 years ago now. You know, these
it's
huge
like hell. It's funny, we're talking about BioWare, right? And
they're fucking done. Dude, I can't wait to play Dragon Age Veil. Dude, that is going to be that's going to be the most anticipated stream I've ever fucking done in my life. And before we even get to there, we've got Silent Hill 2 remake coming out in less than a week.
Yeah. It is rough out there. It is rough, bros. At least for the established. I mean, they've been very dominant companies. A lot of cool stuff coming from independents. I think you're going to see a lot more of that. But I mean, I think we just gotta understand that these guys just fucking suck now. They unfortunately let in a bunch of people that prioritize, and we've talked about it before on the show. I mean, it once was the case, and sure, your politics should be irrelevant, right? It should be, but it's not, because you guys lead with it and make it as such, right? So you have these people who, yeah, maybe they had gone to school and did a little game design on the side, but they're really just activists, right? And this is an opportunity, and that's all this ever was supposed to be. It was an opportunity for them to flood markets with their ideology, and that's exactly what they did. And you got these consulting companies. Sometimes it wasn't just through consulting companies; it was just let in through the front door by the fucking company. And now these companies have, it's like, come on in, bros. Come right on in. Here's your department. You can spend as much money as you fucking want. Hire as many of your friends that you want. Just please shield us from racism and misogyny or whatever. And what you got was a bunch of shit. Fake jobs and this sensitivity screening and all this other bullshit that is totally unnecessary. You have a bunch of bloat there. So you're overspending.
A great word.
You're spending just a crazy insane amount of money on these projects, and it's almost impossible to get that money back, right? So that's the part about, I mean, we talk about this, the movie industry or Hollywood, right? It's not that that these movies, they have to make $1 billion to be successful. It's that within that context they do it because they're spending so much money. So where, if a movie just only made, I don't know, $250 million or something like that, it should be okay, but you only should be spending like maybe, I don't know, $10 billion on them. I'm just throwing random numbers out there, right? In order to get to that point, but they're not. They spend so much money, so they have to make that money. You're dealing with that here. So even selling 1 million copies or something sounds like a lot. But when you've spent almost $500 million on the project, not so much.
Right. With Assassin's Creed, if they want to make the character of Yasuke realistic in this world, okay, narratively, they want to change it to be realistic, right? Everywhere he goes, everyone's going to be staring at him. That's the that's the uncomfortable truth.
Yeah.
So you have to create a game that pretends that doesn't happen. So already you've backed yourself into a narrative corner. Massively. Everywhere you go, everybody would be congregating together because the reality, the sad, I mean, I say sad reality, that was just his history. But the reality of the fact was he was a curiosity. He was a curiosity that the Lord paraded around town to say, look at this guy. And you are never going to be able to put that into this environment. And you want to preach about my stunning and brave, my racism. This is,
and someone brings up a great point here. Imagine that it's a stealth game too, right? And you got this guy that just sticks out like a goddamn sword.
Fucking 3, built like a brick shithouse, black guy, and it's a stealth assassin game. Is there anything that's out of place in this village? Everybody goes. Are you going to get... Where's that part of the game?
Yeah.
That's the fucking reality that you're dealing with here. You have just made... You've made yourself look fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And now you have to make everybody in the game fucking stupid to play along with you.
Yeah.
This is why it doesn't fucking work, you progressive twat. Nothing. I don't think there would have been anything wrong if Yasuke appeared as a side character as you know,
yeah, I don't
within
think anybody
the.
would have had a problem with that. It would have been a
For a
nod.
question. Yeah, a Yob to Yasuke.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone would have too much of a problem with that. But this is just setting itself up for ridicule. It truly is. Just like this, you know. And again, Dragon Age Veilguard's going to be doing the same, because when I hit that character creation screen, Eric, we're going fucking balls deep in that thing. I'm gonna be the fucking zipper tittiest, non-binary, whatever I fucking create, lunatic looking character. We're going all the way, mate. We're gonna play with exactly what they give us to play with.
Speaking of, I'm going to share this real quick. This image I want to share because it kind of leads into the next topic. Let me see if I can find it here. But yeah, this is you know what? Let's just roll into this. Actually, it's a perfect time to do it. Kind of segue into it. Well, let me set it up first. What's going on with Rings of Power?
Nobody's watching.
So last I saw,
and Elrond's copping off with his future mother-in-law.
Okay, well that was something else. And apparently the writers defended their position on that, which
shut up.
But seriously, apparently it's ratings are not good.
Not good. No, some which is it's a proportion, but it tends to be, according to Gary, it tends to be a legitimate proportion. It came in 8th in the somber ratings, behind things like Penguin, behind Tulsa King season 2. So people are dropping off this. Look, I got a YouTube channel, and one of the things I do is selectively now review cringe TV, as we'll see from my Agatha review coming tomorrow. And I did the whole of season 1 for Rings of Power. One of the worst experiences of my fucking life. I watched the first. They released 3 episodes on day 1 for Rings of Power season 2. I watched the first episode, And I legitimately, I couldn't do anymore. It was just like, this is too painful. So, and that's somebody that could potentially put up a video and make a little bit of coin from it. And even I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's so fucking bad. There are better people than I that are able to plow through this. I can't. I can go through 30 minutes of Agatha at 1.5 speed because it's trash. But an hour and 10 minutes of Rings of fuck off. It's abysmal. It's abysmally written. It's abysmally acted. It looks fucking cheap considering how expensive it is. It's nonsensical. It pisses all over the Tolkien lore. It is a joke. It's an actual joke of a show. And I just spent a couple of days ago, rewatching the whole of the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy again. And it was just such a palate cleanser. And it was just so wonderful to have interesting characters, great dialogue, beautiful visuals, all of that wonderful storytelling, the thematically excellent heroicism, all of this. That it's just like, how have we fallen so much? How?
It's quite remarkable. And look, it puts media in general right now in this weird spot. And with the mainstream, I think the independents are playing by a different set of rules. So a lot of what I say doesn't necessarily apply to it. Because like I said, mainly they don't spend this crazy amount of money that some of these other guys, but you see some of this like general sourness on Hollywood and you know, their adaptations of things that make sense, right? That, well, when I say make sense, I mean they have an audience, so you think that was already baked in, but imagine somehow fucking that up. So where even you get things that are like halfway decent, and you got some guys that are not showing up. I don't know how you felt about if you had seen. Forgive me if you had already talked about it with what's happening right now with the Transformers One, right? Where
Doesn't come out in the UK for another week and a half.
okay, so you got a little
but
bit.
I will go see it because of how divisive that's been.
Yeah, it's been very, very divisive, and it's been very interesting because you get some guys that are like, "Well, this was a absolute failure from the marketing side of things." And look, I don't know.
I mean, the trailers look trash, right?
Yeah.
And Chris Gore, for example, says, I agree the trailers were trash. I went to see it. I enjoyed it. Chris Gore isn't the biggest like G1 fan, but he enjoyed it as an entity. I've had G1 fans saying it's actually pretty good. You know, there's a few things which are like, but overall it's pretty fucking good. And I've had some G1 fans go, this is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. So I don't even know where to fucking go. All I know is it doesn't come out until like 13th of October here in the UK. I'll go see it. But from what I've seen of the trailers, it's the marketing from the trailers, which has made me go, this looks like fucking trash.
Right.
Dialogue wise, visually wise, silly Billy wise, you know, Bumblebee going, I'm working on some names. I'm going with Badassatron. You're just like, oh, like who fucking writes this shit? Even as a kid, I would have fucking cringed at that sort of shit. Be like, God, you know, come on, don't treat kids with disrespect. Kids are smarter than you fucking give them credit for.
That's for sure. So, yeah, but the reason why I brought that up is because it's like you have, you know, it is a very divisive time, like in media, is like where even if you get things that are halfway decent, do people even give it a time of the day? Is it, even if it has decent reviews, does that mean people showed up to where the people that created it or the studios that created it were able to see a return? So I think there's just, especially with normies as of recent, I think obviously they were late to the party, but they're at least seeing that something's fucking fundamentally wrong with just entertainment in general. Right. And there's no slam dunks anymore. I guess is the way that I would word it. There used to be a time where if Assassin's Creed came out, even if it was going to be the same shit, you knew it was going to do all right.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time when it didn't matter, you know, it's Dragon Age or whatever the fuck. It was going to do it was going to do decently. There was a time where it wasn't even that long ago where CD Projekt Red were looked at like and heralded as if they were like the fucking. And I fought against that, by the way. Yeah, I was right. I'm not trying to gloat, but I gotta say that because I was right about this fucking company. And I remember going back and forth with a lot of people on this because they heralded a fucking CD Projekt Red like as if they were just the beacon of fucking video games.
Oh, I was in that department, dude. I was in CD Projekt Red We Trust.
Yeah, and we saw what happened. I mean, a lot of that started with obviously fucking Cyberpunk and that absolute fucking disaster of a release that they had. But when it comes to these brands that have been very, very successful, so whether you're talking about an individual game or a studio or producers, directors, doesn't matter. There are no slam dunks anymore. It's like there's no guarantee just because you make we talk about Rocksteady and the Batman. Like, I think Batman should be a slam dunk, but I don't know if Batman's even a slam dunk anymore.
Well, look at the Batman, the the progressive Batman animated series that even Warner Brothers didn't want to put on their own fucking network.
Yeah.
But they ended up selling to Amazon, and Amazon just cum dumpstered it all at once. And who's talking about it? Nobody. Who really liked it? Nobody. That saw, people that saw it, awful. What do we get? We just got typical current day shit. Penguin's now a fucking ugly fat woman, and people really fancy her because woman. Harley Quinn's fucking Asian. Jim Gordon's black. Barbara Gordon's black. Batman barely features in it because they hate fucking heroes. It's the Barbara Gordon show. This is where we are. We know that Peter Parker's been systematically fucking shat all over for the last dozen or so years because they're so desperate to make Miles Morales work. Well, remember when oh god damn it. Remember when they say the best way to tackle racism is stop talking about race, right? Well, the best way to stop fucking Miles Morales is to stop referring to as Miles fucking Morales. Because that's what you do in all of your fucking marketing. That's what you do in all of your toys, in all of your video games. So how can he ever be his own character? How can he ever? And he's not Spider-Man because that's Peter fucking Parker. Okay? Yeah, it's Morgan Freeman that said that. Thank you. He needs to be his own character. If he is so well written, if he is so beloved, then when he came into that universe, he should have rebranded himself. But because they can't do that, because they just want to make another derivative of Spider-Man, they want to get rid of Peter Parker the reason why they target Peter Parker is because Stan Lee said don't make him gay. Because Stan Lee was referring to stop fucking with characters, but they took it exceedingly literally, and they made Peter Parker the character that needs to be fucking destroyed.
They specifically killed him off to bring him in.
Yeah.
They killed Peter Parker off to bring in Miles Morales.
And they can't stop referring to him as Miles Morales.
Yeah.
I've got photos that I didn't even bother posting on Twitter when I was out in shops, and you'd see Spider-Man and Miles Morales. And I did one a couple of Christmases ago. Holy shit, I did not expect the internet to go fucking like 4 million fucking views on it. People losing their mind. I'm like, why are you losing your mind? I'm just saying Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
They get fucking angry when that's easy money, man. And yeah, it's nothing is a slam dunk anymore. And it is interesting to see kind of a lot of these guys are all facing the same problem, and that is the uncertainty, right? Ubisoft's facing it. Every gaming company is facing it. It's like, even with our tried and true things, you put you literally called the game Star Wars Outlaws. If Star Wars was healthy as it had been for fucking several decades, even when it was divisive in the 90s, anything that had Star Wars at the front of it was gonna sell. Didn't fucking matter. That was just how it was. Now, somehow you can put out a game that says Star Wars colon fucking outlaws, whatever, and nobody wants the shit.
That balls deep inside the colon. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, it's colon, all right, that's for sure. Because it's ass. But seriously, you imagine that Star Wars, Marvel, we're talking about Batman, DC. There's no slam dunks anymore. There's no, well, yeah, everybody's gonna show. Hell, right now, they did a Joker movie. Hearing people have some interesting reactions to that. Which
how many times have we said that every time you put something out that's shit, you are hurting your brand?
Yeah,
we say it every fucking time. Oh, it did okay. It did this fine. It's this, it's that. Every time you do that, you hurt your brand, and then you hurt it again and again and again. And guess what? Welcome to where you fucking created. You created this problem. You made Luke Skywalker fucking impotent. You made Star Wars irrelevant. You made Star Trek irrelevant. Doctor Who irrelevant. You pick a fucking franchise right now. You've eroded and eroded your audiences to such a degree that we're living in a world where nobody gives a fuck about Star Wars. One of the most powerful cinematic brands there was. Toys aren't selling. Nobody watches the fucking TV shows. It's not even at the cinema. Hasn't been at the cinema for 5 fucking years. Ray movie's been put on the back burner. Or the other movie's been put on the back burner. It's like all the people that had their trilogy, Dan and Dave's trilogy, gone. Ryan Johnson's trilogy, gone. Patty Jenkins' Rogue film, gone.
I forgot about that.
Taika Waititi's movie, gone. They're all fucking gone. Because nobody cares. And it's same with Marvel now. Marvel are in the same boat. Deadpool, Wolverine, a complete anomaly because it was an anomaly. People went out and they just said, oh my God, this is just fun. You know, these guys are dicking around, swearing every other word, and graphic violence and silly billiness. Thank God. We needed some outlet. We needed some outlet to just go and have a fucking laugh. But but what happens when Agatha comes out? Nobody watches it. Yeah. What happens when Captain African America's
Ironheart
coming out next year? Thunderbolts with that garbage fucking poster that looked like it'd been photoshopped like 2 minutes ago by me.
So yeah, it's a lot of it's dead, but have no fear, because Rachel Zegler is here.
Oh yeah. This stupid cow. Yeah.
So okay. The part of this interview or whatever that I really want to go on, again, it's less about Rachel Zegler and more about what the fuck she said, right? But the headline, this is coming directly from Variety. Rachel Zegler on reinventing Snow White and Juliet and facing off against toxic Disney fans.
What does that mean?
I've watched women get torn down my whole life.
Yeah. Because you want to shut the fuck up.
So, let me go to the part where she actually
can't shut her mouth. Okay.
Like because she does also talk about some things, let's say she claims that were taken out of context, right?
Oh, the prince is a stalker. That was taken out of context.
Yeah.
They took out the prince is a stalker, a weirdo stalker. Weird. Taken out of context. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hasn't learned a thing, this stupid cow. She's
course, they go on, and every time she speaks up about racism and sexism in the entertainment industry, she's slammed as just another DEI hire coasting on her identity rather than her talent. Well, she's very, very like politically and socially active. So whatever. Uh, of course, they go about obscure fake Twitter accounts that's probably written by Jim in marketing to try to perpetuate that there are these toxic fans.
How many movies has she been in that's made a profit? Maybe the last Hunger Games movie irked out a little bit, but I think apart from that, every movie she's been in has lost money. Every movie.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to find the part where she goes on about that.
Oh, she goes on, all right, and on and on and on.
It's been a mixed bag. Her appointment as Apple Eaton stepdaughter, Evil Queen, drew us an eye online with many promising to boycott the film due to woke casting. To them, the actress Colombian heritage disqualify her from playing the princess. Well, here's the thing. It's a combination of a lot of different things. Sure, maybe that has a lot to do with it. But when you start to put your foot in your mouth, people are going to start highlighting everything like that's wrong with the given projects. I think that's more attributed to what happened. It's less about, yeah, you are this race and you got Snow White and this adaptation, and it's not like we haven't seen weird adaptations of Snow White before, but like I said, it's the context that matters. It's a combination of things. But there's a bit where she's like really dishonest. She talks about this was her mom's favorite princess. And so Zegler doesn't bother trying to understand why it's so hard for some of the diehard Disney adults to picture a Latina in a beloved princess shoes. She's making a children movie after all, and I guess that means because reasons. She grew up in a household where that was Cinderella. Obviously, we watched the cartoon, but a child's mind is the most amazing thing, where it's just like, okay, that's Cinderella, but the blonde hair, blue-eyed, blue dress Cinderella from the 1950s cartoon is also Cinderella. Also Hilary Duff is Cinderella, blah, blah, blah. So is it here? Is it where is it at? Where she talks about the given context. Actually, hold on, I'll find it right here. Here we go. So this is the part where I really wanted to talk about, where she just flat out lies. Okay. So again, I don't care about how you guys feel about Rachel Zegler as an actress or how you feel about Snow White.
Dumb cow.
Look, don't care about any of that. Talking about this here. I would never want to box someone in and say, if you want love, then you can't work, or if you want to work, then you can't have a family. It's not true. It's never been. It can be very upsetting when things get taken out of context or the jokes don't land. The love story, and which is what she was referencing, the statements that she made that Az had echoed. The love story is very integral. A lot of it's different from what you were saying before, but I thought it was weird. A lot of people wrote that we weren't doing that storyline anymore. We always no. Didn't y'all say that it was going to be a different approach? Approach.
She said that, she doesn't need no man. She doesn't need the prince. She's gonna be stunning and brave enough to realize that she's the leader she was always destined to be. What the fuck are you even talking about?
And then it says that we were always doing that. It just wasn't that we were doing. It just wasn't what we were talking about that day. So this is the disingenuous bit that I really wanted to highlight here. That she's clearly trying to walk some of that stuff back. And I don't know if Disney had a conversation with her and said, "Look, man, before this thing comes out, we kind of got to do some repairs here in terms of this brand, because we're off to a bad foot. Calling things or referring to things weird probably wasn't the approach, the general narrative that people understand or with Snow White and what have you. So maybe we start walking some of this stuff back. That's fine. If she'd have came out and been like, yeah, I probably put my foot in her mouth, foot in my mouth, and shouldn't have said that. She's instead saying that it's basically everybody else's fault in that they took the shit out of context and she was joking. So someone said it sounds like damage control. Well, that's because it is. Oh, and of course she had to throw in the election here where it says, Zegler's not surprised by what she sees as people willfully misunderstand the comments. Wolf. That's what I'm talking about. And this isn't about me giving a fuck about Snow White or like I'm going to be the one lining up to see it. No, I'm just saying you're lying. You're gaslighting. And there's a lot of parents that are out there. Maybe you guys got daughters or whatever that you may have wanted to maybe look into this movie about. And to see yet another Hollywood folk sitting here lying, right? And Variety's running cover as they always do for her to essentially say, well, it's everybody else's fault. So the people willfully misunderstood all of her comments and basically calling this shit weird. And then she appealed to her gender. I've watched women get torn down my whole life and my career. My whole career, we'll watch it in the election. Oh, she's referring to Kamala Harris Khan.
Yeah.
We're going to witness that for a long time. Sometimes I fear it can feel like we're going back. It certainly felt that way when that was happening.
Shut your fucking cake off. We've got another dumb Hollywood bint who gets paid exorbitant amounts of money to be fucking average and mid as fuck on a screen, talking down to the little people as they love to do, unable to accept any responsibility for their own actions, buying into intersectionality where there must always be a victim and the victim is her. Shut the fuck up. Get off the fucking screen. You're your own worst enemy. This film is gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb like fucking Nagasaki fucked Hiroshima in the ass with no lube. That's how much this fucking movie's gonna bomb. And she'll have an awful lot to do with that. She'll have an awful lot to do with that absolute fucking disaster. Because she can't keep her fucking mouth shut. She hasn't got any. Her hubris is so poor. She hasn't even got the wherewithal to just suck it up, buttercup, and say, "Oh, okay, maybe I said a couple of silly billy things. You don't even have to go beyond that. It is a beautiful love story. Da 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 da. You just have to do the proper marketing fucking line, but you can't. You can't even do that because you're such an egotistical fucking cow."
Well, they talked about it here. Someone brought up in the comments here, says, why does she bring up politics, like talking about the women and stuff in this upcoming election? Well, she's no stranger to that. I think that's been some of the problem. This is why the context matters. This isn't just a bunch of old guys getting mad at some Snow White shit. It's like, you look at the context of what's going on with Hollywood and how she's specifically has used her platform here, like she did here. Where she, they talk about her at D23. We remember that with big dust up, which maybe is what got Disney to pull her aside, if we believe that that's what's happened, where she was going on talking about it. And I always remember Free Palestine, because apparently that has something to do with fucking something. And
something about something.
Yeah, it's the gaslighting bit is what gets me about these folks, and that, well, it's not her fault. It wasn't that she put her foot in her mouth there. And it's not that we were just covering, or people were covering exactly what she said.
Mm-hmm.
It was that we misinterpreted it. And she is
no.
It was out of context.
No.
At least that's what she says.
No. No. Shut your dumb fucking mouth, you stupid bin. There's the thing. Some people say, she's young. She's like 23, whatever, like that. Do you know something? No. Some people are just fucking horrible. And I think Rachel Zegler is just a horrible, fucking obnoxious, prissy little Hollywood bitch. And they're a dime a fucking dozen. They've had smoke blown up their ass since they got in this fucking industry. And they look down at people and they think they're dumb and as stupid as fucking they are. And they base them around that. No, I think she's just a dumb, stupid Hollywood bitch. Shut your fucking mouths, Rachel. Beauty skin deep. This is a very ugly woman. Very ugly woman from the fucking core out. If I was a fucking parent, I wouldn't take my kid to see this fucking movie.
There you
I'll
have
take,
it. Yeah,
take them to see the classic. So buy them the Blu-ray of the classic and just watch that.
Well, there you go.
Have
That's
much more fun. Yeah,
that's easy enough. So we'll see. We'll see if just how much they're actually walking this thing back. It is a damage control more or less statement, but it doesn't feel like it's damage control in the sense that she's apologetic
no,
about it. It's more damage control like, hey, you guys were fucking wrong. You took things out of context. I'm not the problem. You're the problem.
right, yeah.
So
So throw paraffin on the fire. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, good luck. If that's your approach, congratulations. Go for it. I just don't think that it's going to work out. But it's been a theme of the show the last year is been just covering these Hollywood dickheads and industry dickheads, mainstream guys, whether it be in gaming and what have you, constantly having to deal with the consequences of their actions and then acting like everybody else is the problem. So look, man, good luck. I'm not gonna act like I was ever, even if it was gonna be the best damn thing since sliced bread. You're gonna be lining up to see it. I'm not pretending like that was ever gonna be the case. I do know that people that watch the show have daughters and such, and maybe that was something that was you were gonna be intrigued by. But we'll see what the fuck happens with that. All right, guys, let's get into some of these because we got a lot actually, and I know we're already behind on some of these super chats. So I wanted to start. You brought up some good points here. I want to start getting in them. We got Bennett with a 20, and he said, Eric, any plans for non-wrestling pro sports comic like hockey, football, baseball, or solo like snowboarding or swimming in a riververse, kind of like how Blue Lock is? Would buy a hockey one in a heartbeat from you. I've considered it. Obviously, me being a sports guy, have considered it. I wonder how much with the American audience it could land. We do know that the Japanese and mangas and animes have been able to do sports animes and again mangas that have landed, be it volleyball, basketball. They've done all sorts of cool things there. I wonder how that would land with the audience. I don't really know. But I have considered it because obviously it's something that I'm very knowledgeable on. And I'd be down to do something like that. Appreciate that 20. That's not cheap. Mr. H1393 with a 30 months says, keep being great, young blood, and owning woke bitches. You got it. Having nobody. The hate monger with a 2 said, y'all must have misspoke when you said stream. Yeah, I that was on me. I actually put the wrong time on the stream earlier. So my bad on that. Mr. Reese with a 5. What up, Black Trump of indie comics? Also, as his favorite comic book author is Vida Olive.
Fuck off.
Oh man. Josh Kelsey with a 20, as always, doesn't say anything, just drops a 20 and decides he's up out of here. I respect it as always. I'm glad Comrade Eric and Tampon Ass decided to show up. Having nobody to hate monger with a 2. He says, well, appreciate that too. Eric, will you stop failing for the 3rd time? Says DB with a 2. You got it. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Captain Nega American with a 5. This is so stupid. So what is her origin story again? Is she from a different universe where she was abandoned after Deadshot accepted a contract? Fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell. I don't think that's quite the origin story. Apparently,
who knows?
Well, apparently, at least from what we've picked up, Lawton was at least active, and
sure, Jan
didn't have the best influence on Lawless, because Lawless came out to be a communist, and I feel like any parent, that is an absolute fucking nightmare. To have a kid become a communist. But get ready for some aggressive redistribution. Joker's Disciple to 5 says, my fingers still crossed that Eric secretly cooking up a Ripperverse 2D beat 'em up video game. Also got to ask since October is Bloodroot the Vampire. You get some more information about Bloodroot. In the upcoming Bloodroot, the Bloodroot book really does go into great detail about kind of you get a lot of backstory, let's say, about Bloodroot. So yeah, we'll give you some more information on that. As far as cooking up a 2D beat 'em up, I'm not, but I would love to. I'll be open about that. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on. I'm always working. Know what I'm saying? Always.
You are definitely that.
Yeah, cooking. Ray Gonzalez with a 10. Hi, Az. I know you're a Transformers G1 fan. What's your opinion on Beast Wars? It's my personal favorite since it's the first one I saw as a kid.
I never got into Beast Wars, Ray. To be honest with you, I was G1 all day, every day, and I was a purist. So Optimus Primal and all that just never worked for me. G2, Armada, none of it worked for me. G1, baby. G1. Look. G1, baby. Best. It's always going to be the best. Nothing can touch it. Never.
There you go. All right. We got Shindu versus with a 5 says influence a villain who live streams crime. That is just Screwball from Marvel. It was cringe there and it's cringe here.
It's nonsensical garbage from fucking retarded con artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Scrapper. Yeah.
Having nobody to hate manga says ass Creed makes me want to play Tenchu.
Ass to mouth Creed. Yeah, Tenchu, which had a male and female character. What year did that come out? 1998?
That one guy for 20 months, that's a minute, man. Appreciate y'all, man. William Jones with a 50. I'm concerned for the Anno series. Ubisoft mains, formerly Blue Byte, makes the Anno games, and 117 was recently announced. I hope this crap doesn't ruin that game. Look, if Ubisoft, look, that is a beyond compromised company. So I don't know how anybody can look forward at least to anything that they have even some sort of mild involvement in. That's the $50 though. That ain't cheap.
No.
All right, we got Mr. Kirk with a 10. No message. Oh no, there is a message. Says I'm waiting for a show on Yasuke that tries to be historically accurate. I don't know if that Chad Boseman film would have done just that, but the Netflix show was horrible. Spider Bro 8 months says was crazy. They all doing this for social justice when they've made freedom cry. Well, that's because social justice isn't justice. If it were, you wouldn't have to put social in front of it. Excuse me. What it does is it implies basically a fake problem that often gets created out of thin air, and those are only created because they need their mob to be the ones that presents themselves as a solution. So there'll never be any true resolution to even the problems that it is that they claim exist.
Yeah, spoiler alert, there's never a resolution.
Yeah,
it must be perpetual. This must be perpetual.
Exactly. So yeah, these aren't exactly the most liberty-minded people by any means. The Wave Blur with a 29 months says thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima sequel reveal. We talked about it briefly last show because it happened right before it, and we talked about how Ghost of Tsushima, excellent game. I had a lot of fun with it. I especially had a lot of fun with the DLC and playing that online. That said, people that have rightfully reservations, and obviously more had been revealed about the actress who this is based upon, which I don't know her involvement in the general narrative or anything. She could just be a stand-in. I have no idea. But it is the fact that people are, my take has been pretty consistent on it. The fact that even with it following such an excellent game, that people are like approaching this with a bit of skepticism is totally understandable.
Mhm.
And rightfully so. You've been burned enough times that you should probably be ignorant. Maybe if you didn't at least consider it, um, that it could be some weird shit at play. Definitely when you look at again the context, not just in the day and age, but yeah, the actress is absolutely a fucking activist, right? Through and through, top to bottom. Now, again, what that involvement, her involvement, we'll see. That said, we'll see.
Well,
And
that said, she's representing the game and the company,
yeah,
and I don't know, but I imagine they should. It would make no sense, but there should be something that you're signing in that contract that says you must always
don't be a
act in
dickhead.
yes, yeah, in different language, but yes,
Yeah,
don't be a fucking prick.
yeah.
Okay, you're bound to get some clapback on social media because you're a fucking Raven activist, and that's why we hired you. So we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah, that's their point.
But yeah, because I did my thing. I did my thing about what my position on the game, and just the more that's come out about the person, you kind of you're not helping yourself. Yeah, you're just not helping yourself. The only thing that I would suggest, not that she will in any capacity, probably take my advice, but I would suggest just don't say anything. Don't antagonize the potential audience. Let the game speak for itself. Ghost of Tsushima was a great game. If this is going to be a great game as well, made with the same philosophies, the same passion, the same love, the same care, the same attention, then you don't have to engage in people who are skeptical. Unless you want to say, just you wait till you play the game, you're going to love it. That's all you need to do. Why is this so fucking hard? Because they have to virtue signal. They have to be vocally virtue signaling.
Yeah, like it's like I said. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say for sure it's gonna be a slam dunk bullshit because I can't. If they somehow reel the activist actress in, and it comes out that this is this is tasteful. Though I think there's going to be people that have problems that they feel like, oh, we're not playing this shit anymore. Which that if the series started out that way, it's one thing. But yeah, the fact that you're now making another Ghost, so you're taking that general concept, you're just kind of putting it in, making a different protagonist. Look, sometimes that has worked in video games, sometimes it won't. But we'll see exactly that. But yeah, the actress, the chosen actress, and I'd imagine that they knew that was going to be her for a while. Probably just understanding the context, you're not going to be given the benefit of the doubt, even coming off of just a wonderful game, right? So that's why I said that I'm not knocking anybody that is like, I am very skeptical. This does look like it's about to be a bunch of bullshit. And I totally empathize with that. I understand where that person is coming from, and you probably should have at least some reservation, even if you don't write it completely off. Having some healthy kind of reservation makes all the sense in the world, because we've seen what's happened with modern media. We've done a bunch of shows about what's going on in modern media, and I don't for once think that if that actress had been isn't reeled in, then I have to believe that they're all in on it. And so if they are all in on it, then yeah, somehow that's going to unfortunately impact this game in at least some capacity, whether it be direct narrative or something else.
Even if they let's say the game's great and they're antagonistic in the promotion of it, and then it comes out and it's great, it's still going to affect sales to some degree. How much?
To some degree, absolutely.
Oh no,
for sure.
But it is going to affect sales to some degree. The best way to stick it to people is to prove them wrong. And you don't have to be antagonistic to do that. You let the game speak for itself. All you need to do as a company is promote the game as a wonderful spiritual successor to Ghost of Tsushima, new environment, new protagonist with a great story that we can't wait to show you. That's all you have to do. This stuff ain't fucking rocket science.
Yeah.
Stop antagonizing your customers.
Well, I think the problem is that, definitely we're in the age of social media, right? So we're in this age where there's people, they put the thoughts all over social media, right? So you got to know what you're getting yourself into, for sure. If you're going to try to have this sort of mass market appeal with those that you bring in, if they have like a history, and by history I mean pretty much all of her posts are fucking recent. That everybody were going through. Those are, it's hard to call it history. It's almost like
yeah.
It was like yesterday, right? You got to know that there's going to be some level of backlash. But I think the problem is with those activists, they don't consider these people that are customers. It's like why these people are so comfortable with like shitting on half of the voting American population, right? It's stupid. It makes no fucking sense, but it's almost like they feel like you don't exist as an actual customer, so they can be as antagonistic. And it's one thing to have a difference of opinion, but you use the proper term there and being antagonistic, those are different things, right? So even if it's like maybe we don't see eye to eye politically, being antagonistic and actively shitting on your customer base is a completely different animal. And that's what we start to see there. And yeah, people are gonna withhold their money. Definitely now as people are more conscious of where their money's going, because for a while there, people kind of came to terms with, or didn't come to terms. They were funding a lot of people that just absolutely fucking despised them. Something happened in 2015, 2016, that just made people fucking crazy. And now here we are. And these people go out of their way to make sure their activism is known on basically every platform that they're on, Twitter, Instagram, it doesn't matter. And if it means being antagonistic to half of the fucking voting population, they don't care. They'll do that. So, yeah, you got to be aware of that stuff no matter who you're bringing in. I mean, you bring up like these disparagement clauses and just basically, hey, man, if we're bringing you on, you gotta, that's decency. That's professionalism, is it not? Like, so it's not even like it's a damning contract, right? To say like, bro, chill the fuck out. We'll bring you on. You have the talent to fill this role, but for the love of fucking God, chill out. That's just basic professionalism, because more is on the line here. Just being respectful to these customers that you may disagree with politically or whatever. That's just basic decency there. But some people would, unfortunately, they'd be like, "Oh, that's oppressive or some shit." When I just look at it, that's just basic professionalism.
That is exactly it. It's professionalism. The least interesting thing I'll probably find about anybody in this room is your fucking politics. I don't give a shit. What I give a shit about is whether or not you're a decent person, how we communicate, do we get on? That's what's more important. If I'm putting out a product into the marketplace, if I do my own comic, if I do my own book, whatever it is, my own video game, I don't give a shit where you vote. I want you to buy my game. I want you to be interested enough in what you see that you go, oh yeah, I'd like to buy that game. I'd like to pick up that book. That's what I want. I don't this fucking insanity today that we have to quantify everything with somebody's politics. Can we just shut up about it? My Twitter feed is just wall to wall. Fucking Kamala Khan and Donald Trump. Fuck off, all of you. Seriously, just fuck off. I don't want to see some cat pictures. I want to see what people are eating. I'm just getting fucking Kamala Khan, fucking American politics. Shut up! You're not the only country on the fucking planet. You're driving. You're fucking insane. This is what you absorb all day, every day. You're going nuts. You're crazy. Stop it. Disengage.
You're not
touch
wrong.
some gas. Touch some gas. Whatever that is, touch it.
Touch gas, man. Touch gas.
And then fucking light it. Stop. Just fucking stop. So when it comes to video games, comics, whatever it may be, make something that all of us could just be like, this is fun, this is cool, this is a cool character, this is a good environment, this is a good world, this is that. I don't give a shit. The X that you put in every 4 to 5 years, I don't care. This is the least interesting thing about any fucking project, any video game, any comic. I don't care. So it's about professionalism. If you've got a game coming out and you want to hire the most fucking activist of activists, they, them, bimber, zimzer, titty tit, zipper tit, don't give a shit person imaginable, then you go, right, we'd like to use you. Here's the contract. The contract says, shut the fuck up. If you want to engage, you engage professionally and you engage from the position of, I hope you like the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you besmirch the company in any way that brings heat towards the company, you will be fired with immediate effect. And by the way, these aren't unreasonable demands.
No,
it's
common
sensical stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever you sign a fucking contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
it should be. But yeah,
and if you are an open and out activist, guess what? You are automatically divisive because not everyone's going to share the same values and opinions as you. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you want to go, hey, gay cats for Ukraine, you go do that. Okay. That's your philosophy. That's your thing to go for. But when it comes to somebody going, hey, I think you're going to be shit in Ghost of Yotai or whatever game it's going to be, then you need to turn around. Number one, I wouldn't even suggest you engage in the first place. But if you so choose to engage, then you say, sir, I appreciate your opinion, but I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised because I think this game's going to be really cool and interesting. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah,
this is not fucking hard shit. It's not rocket science with you.
Not at all. It's again, it's one thing. I mean, and that's the big differentiation of what makes someone a professional, right? And I've talked about this extensively about even me. Myself, obviously, always working to become a better professional in every aspect of how I operate. But yeah, that's the important thing. That's why it's the rule here at the Riververse. Leave it at the fucking door. Right, the minute that stupid shit starts getting in the way of what we're trying to do, like that's a problem. Like it's a fundamental problem. But it isn't like an oppressive contract by any means. It is a basic professionalism standards. Like, look, you're gonna have your opinions, right? That's fine. You're entitled to them. You're an adult, okay? That said, don't be antagonistic to the customers. It's basic shit. Just basic, and understand who those customers are. Like by customer, we're talking about guys that are baked in, willing buyers, right? There's no reason to be antagonistic towards those guys. And yeah, newsflash, some of those guys might not vote in the same way that you do.
Oh, sure.
Might not vote at all. They might not give a shit about politics in general.
Clutch pearls.
Yeah, I know. Faint on the fucking couch, right? It's amazing. It's amazing that not everybody's consumed about that shit, and that it should be their approach. So going back to the point about with Ghost, we'll see. But yeah, it's people going into that very skeptical is totally understandable. Peter Darker with a 5 says, rumor is after Samurai Kings, the next AC game will be about the Salem witch trials. Because we just didn't get enough magic scissoring.
Why not?
Rachel Zegler
it didn't work for Star Wars and it didn't work for Marvel. Why not make it work for Ubisoft?
Mr. Kirkwood 2 says Rachel Zegler should have portrayed the evil queen. Kalioth with a 10 says Hunger Games, Rachel Zegler search for success in DEI world. Rachel doesn't fail, she succeeds within a much smaller world. Much smaller with a much smaller audience and doesn't understand why it's not greater in success. Mr. Reese with a 5 says friendly reminder that Rachel Zegler wanted to cancel Gina Carano over pronouns.
Yes, aggressively, and then right in front of her co-host for Snow White said "Free Palestine." Right in front of a Israeli Jewish.
Like, again, guys, when we talk about maybe having a clause in the contract where you don't do retarded shit like that, tell me that that's unreasonable. Like, hey, maybe don't do that. Maybe understand that you have a co-star. Maybe understand that there is some this isn't worth blowing up the fucking project over, right? Maybe shut the fuck up.
We're way too late for that. Way too late for that now. She's imploded that thing. Oh well. Oh wow.
The original Snow White is one of my favorites, says Emily Krug. Shout out.
OG?
You're half the man you used to be.
Nah.
Which has Ryan. Ryan is Captain, or excuse me, Carol Danvers in the profile picture, which is very silly.
Beautiful. Difficult fact, but I'll try.
Appreciate that. We got Johnny Red with 5 says Bart Sears is only 10 pages left of his original pages of Salvage PI. I got to get some. Yes, he is selling the original pages on his website, Bart Sears. So you can go check those out. Shout out to Bart Sears. There it is over there.
That's Rip. Well, that's Rip. That's the second Ripazine.
Too. But yes, yes. But from Salvage from the Ripazine, you can go check that out. You can still get the Ripazine, by the way. But Bart Sears is selling some of the original pages if that's something that you want. And we were great on time. That is it. And we just hit the 2-hour mark. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Hola.
As what all are you working on this upcoming week?
Well, I'm probably in about an hour or so. I'm gonna do another video game stream. Gonna do some more Witchfire. I've been playing a little bit
the other day.
Yeah, I've been playing it off stream, and it's all I've worked it out. So I'm gonna fire up a Witchfire stream number 2, and I'm gonna go through what I've been doing, and I'm gonna go through the processes and stuff. It is a fucking good game.
There you go.
It is a good game. And then I do want to do this video about CD Projekt Red, but tomorrow Agatha review episode 4 for My Sins tomorrow as well. And yeah, Tuesday, Sunday Fun Day and Afternoon Tea this Sunday. Tuesday, Silent Hill 2 remake.
There you go. Very nice. Very nice. So you can go follow, of course, I'm over here versus Babyface. That's where the next episode of Ripping the Silverback will be sometime next week. As far as myself getting back in the swing of thing, I went upstairs for the first time today.
Wow.
I had to grab a towel because the wife wasn't here. I got up those. So I am getting to where I am going to be at some point. I'm going to stay down here for a little bit. But I am, getting there to where I can get up there and I'll be able to do some more of those videos. We'll have like 4K and a second return as well. So be on the lookout for that because I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, just random shit as well. And of course, we have Ripperverse stuff that's on the way. Let's just say that. Obviously, we got the Horseman that is ready to rock. We have the books, as you guys have seen some of them. Showing them off.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures. Yeah.
So we have Green's gonna not do it justice, but this is obviously the cover C. You guys hadn't seen this yet, but yeah, it's quite crazy. If let me go try to do something real quick. Hold on just a second. Where are we at? Real quick. So
Oh, that green screen doing it.
Yeah, that green screen doesn't like it. There we go. All right. There we go. So you can see this is fucking unbelievable. You can't really see it. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit, you can see it.
Go full screen. Go full screen.
Oh yeah. Let me go full screen real quick. Oh shit. Whoops. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
So, as you guys can see, it has an embossing. You can kind of say you got that gold foil on the horse and the suit. You see the casings are full as well. We have a video that we will be dropping very, very soon that is going to show all of this off. You can still go grab cover C as well, but we of course have the other ones here as well. You got that cover D, which people are a fan of, the throwbacks. We have the books here. We're just getting everything prepared, doing our pre-packaging, making sure everything looks good as well. I'm really, really satisfied with how these came out. I think you guys are gonna really, really enjoy not only the story but just the those covers obviously as well. All right, let me go back there. Okay, cool, and bring back as bam. Okay, so that this week. Jordan just actually confirmed. She says the edit's ready. She's just got to get it uploaded. So we have it. We have the edit showing everything off with that. So you'll see a more formal video instead of just me holding up to the camera that we have really showing off that cover. We just got to get that put out. So yes, you can go to ripperverse.com. Go grab that. We also have the ISOM 1 Signature Series collection, which is going to be ending in a week from today.
Gimme.
So that we'll probably have those. Very early fulfillment is just likely. We'll see though. But we'll be getting that stuff to you guys slowly but surely. So that's all that I have. Thank you guys so much for all of the love and support. We'll be on Az's channel next week. So check us out there. Before we get out of here, Red Dead Site with a 10 just asked guys on Bro Science this random question for you guys. Would you guys like a Red Redemption movie or streaming show? Who would be the picks for the main character? Stay awesome, guys. I'd have to ponder on that. I don't know. I'm not very good with actors.
Yeah.
So I would have to ponder on that.
I would say don't as well.
So there you go.
They don't seem to work out well.
Not these days, especially. They'll fuck it up. They'll find a way to fuck it up. All right, guys. We're going to be out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, though, y'all be easy. Peace out, and we'll see you next week on Az's channel for Ripping the Silverback episode number 43. Peace out.